And we're delighted to have Kaley,
last-minute guest.
Last-minute guest, Kaley Gilmore, whose title is the Director of
Community Engagement and Media at Harbor Media.
All right.
I made it up myself.
Well, it's a great title. You were one of the first people I met when I came there back in, what was that? I think April of 23. So what is it that you do there besides have an awesome title?
Instead of having an awesome title, I handle all of our social media accounts. I help produce some videos. I help do our website. I help make sure the flow of productions are great. I help in any way I can. So I made sure Brian had all the little cue cards he needed and all the little flashcards.
I was just about to say, I will attest to the fact that you are like detail-oriented. You made sure that everything, all the trains were running on time this morning. So once again, a big shout out to the Harbor Media crew. You guys are awesome.
Yeah, no, we have an awesome crew. Yeah, everyone. Sometimes people will ask me like, "Why? How do you think like this?" And I'm like, "I'm the oldest child. I literally can't help it."
That's it. You know, and I've said this about access channels in general. Tend to have great staffs because these are people that they don't want to do network television. They're not going down that road. They're doing this because they love production, they love and they love community. And as corny as it sounds, that was definitely the vibe that I got from the first time I talked to Michelle, and then when I met all of you. I don't know what I came in and talked to you guys about something in the break room or whatever it was, and it's just been an awesome, fun ride. And being here today, this, like I've mentioned a few times, it's my first parade, but it's also the first time I've hosted this type of thing. I'm used to, I do the on-camera stuff for the stories that I produce, but actually sitting at, kind of like a news desk and doing this live stuff, it's been a few years for me. So this is
yeah.
It's thrilling and nerve-wracking.
Yeah, no, I get it. I actually hosted our parade with our good friend Joe Kaley Gilmore about 2 years ago, and it's very nerve-wracking, but once you shake it off and you have fun, it is a really good, fun time.
Is it?
Yeah. Don't worry. It gets fun.
When I read the opening, and I'll admit, I use a teleprompter. And I needed a teleprompter because there was a lot of words to read, so my memory isn't that great. I still kind of get that leg shake thing. I'm like, thank God I've got this desk here blocking my shaking leg. You'd think this is the first time I'd ever done it, but it really came through, and the guests have been awesome.
I know you did a fantastic job so far, and we'll continue to do a fantastic job.
I'm not doing anything. They're giving great answers. All I'm doing is just give them a couple of questions. These people know what they're talking about, and that's one thing that I've noticed in all the years that I've been. I call it reporting. It's really just asking people questions. You talk to people who know exactly what they're talking about and have them talk to me like it's my first day on earth. Yeah. And that's what they do. These people love whatever topic of discussion they have or their expertise, they love talking about it.
Yeah, that's one of the things I love about Hingham is the people and the stories. Harbor Media, we're busy, which is great, but we have so many amazing stories to tell and people who love to share their stories with us that you can always watch on Comcast 1072 and 2131. One of my favorites this year was one of our volunteers. His name is Robbie, and he was so excited about this holiday that I had never heard of, but he told me about Leon Day. Do you know what Leon Day is?
I don't know Leon Day.
So Leon Day is the 6-month mark to Christmas.
Okay.
So he created this whole green screen atmosphere, and me and him at our studio at 35 Pond Park Road, Suite 8, if you want to come take a tour. Got to put in my little plugins. I got my talking points.
You're good at it.
So he scripted it out. He talked about Leon Day, how people can celebrate Christmas any time of the year, celebrate being holly and jolly, and he actually designed his own set in Photoshop.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
It was fun. It was like I love the stuff that people come up with working with us.
So you guys have a pretty awesome interactive website for Harbor Media. Tell me about that, because I mentioned earlier that I do stories for Give Me the Good News. How did that start, and how can people get to that?
So Give Me the Good News originally started during COVID because, as Katie Sutton, my friend, told us earlier, things were shut down. Things were depressing. So we use that series to highlight the good things said in Hingham. So that was always great. You can always see our videos on our video on demand. They're shown on our website. You can go to harbormedia.org/schedule, and in there you'll see all of our live links, so you can watch them 24/7. You can see also air times, so you can tune in online and also know when to tune in on TV, which is really cool.
Okay. So I've noticed that when I go to the video on demand page, there's a little fill-in thing at the top, and I can kind of type in exactly what it is that I'm looking for.
And you can watch on live TV, too. So if it's like a select board meeting on a Tuesday night, you can click the watch and then watch it live from your computer.
Pretty neat.
I know.
Pretty neat. So how long have you been with Harbor Media?
I'm the longest person here. This is my, I think, 7th parade.
But you're only 21 years old.
I wish. I wish.
So how did you get started? What made you say, hey, this is the place I want to work, and this is what I want to do?
So I started off as a little baby. I started off as it is not even here anymore. I started off as a studio assistant. And so what I would do was basically help the team any way I could. And I took that opportunity to learn literally anything I could. So since then, I've moved on to, helping schedule the channels, helping with some government meetings, and then now I'm more on like the marketing and production management side, which actually helps because I know how to use all the equipment.
Yeah, right.
Which helps. So if anyone needs anything really quickly, I'll be like, okay, this is what you do.
I'm telling you, access channels in general are such a great resource, and they have been for me. My first job in television was at an access channel out in central Massachusetts. But all I did was this. I did some anchoring, and then I would go and do stand-ups for the stories. But I didn't shoot anything.
Yeah.
I wasn't editing anything. And they were just kind of like, hey, we're really looking for somebody who knows how to do kind of everything. So we can just give you the camera, send you out there, and come back and put it all together for us. And I didn't have that experience. And it was so far away that I was like, I should just go to one of my local access channels, get the, and at the time, I think it was like $20 for the year for a membership. I don't know what it is now, but, and I was able to go out there and learn, and they have people there, and just like you guys do, that will teach you everything you want to know. And with all the most updated equipment, everybody thinks, oh, it's going to be your local channels that have all, no, your access channels have the most up-to-date stuff out there. And such a great staff that really understand all the technical things that I still don't understand.
Right.
So it's like if I'm having issues with my camera, I know that I can come to anybody at Harbor Media and they can explain to me, oh, this is let's take a look at this. And they'll do a deep dive. I'm like, that is awesome. I mean, even though I've been doing this for a long time, there's still so much that I don't know. And that's pretty much what you guys have to offer.
Yeah, and the best thing, you know what the best thing is?
What's that?
It's free.
It's free.
It's free.
Right?
Anyone who lives in Hingham can come in.
Well, I'll admit I am not from Hingham, and you guys have been super welcoming to me. For people who don't know, before I came here, I was working with a PBS television affiliate, which was fun, and it was great. But, my heart has always been in access television. Ever since I, learned how to shoot, learned how to edit, and do all that stuff, I just love it. The whole reason I even went to PBS was kind of just to say that I did. I've been doing it at the access level for so long. I was like, can I make it to the big leagues? Will someone give me a shot?
Community media is the big leagues, Brian. It is the big leagues.
Well, that's what that's what I learned. And it's funny because I was talking to the associate producer of our show, the executive producer of our show, when we were all getting let go last spring. He's like, what are you going to do? I was like, I want to get back into access television, maybe even like teach if they want, I could teach like classes at the access channels, show people, what I've done in the past and kind of expand on that. And then Michelle came along and said, you want to shoot stories for us? I'm like, yep.
Yeah, I gotta love Michelle. Michelle's great.
She said, it's all business, but like the coolest. So yeah, it's been a really fun ride. And when they came to me, I think it was February, I got the emails, oh, do you want to host the 4th of July event? I'm like, that's like 7 months down the road. Let's not worry about it. And now it's here. I'm like,
it goes by so fast. Like I remember thinking about it in like April, and I'm like, oh, we got time. And then I'm like, no, we don't really got time.
So how big an event is this for Harbor Media? It's obviously a big deal for the town. So what is it that you guys are trying to get across to the community here when you have an event like this for Harbor Media?
Yeah, so this is one of our biggest events of the year, our biggest productions. As you can see, we have our whole team is here. Right now, we're just trying to get across this amazing parade. This is one of the biggest parades in the state, I believe, and we want to make sure we celebrate our community. We cover other events like Christmas in the Square that Amy, when her time comes, because she started in June, is another big event. That is really for more like outreach and meeting people in the community.
Yep.
We have our best friend Frosty. We always have people take pictures, which is like, I guess, one of the highlights of the event. I'm learning that now, which is amazing that people love to see us. But yeah, we just want to celebrate our community and celebrate, the 4th of July and have a great time.
Nice. So this is a pretty neat town. You
Yeah.
know, and what I want to say to our last guest was like, as much, change that you want to see coming in the future, don't change the layout of this town.
No.
Everything about this place is so historical and so neat. It's that Norman Rockwell-esque feel to it. All the buildings, I just
and it's funny that we're right across the street from the Historical Society at Old Derby.
Right.
With our friends at the Historical Society. Yeah, no, this town is gorgeous. I remember when I was a kid, I went to dance class because I lived in Weymouth at the time. I went to dance class at the community center, and when I first started working here, I'm like, I feel like I've been here before. Like, obviously, I've like driven around, but I've been here a lot. And then last Christmas, with Harbor Media, you can also rent our equipment and film your own events, which is fantastic. And the Hingham Community Center, their dance class, I'm so sorry, I can't remember the name off the top of my head. They were producing a original version of the Nutcracker called the Funky Nutcracker. And I'm like, this is fantastic. This is great. So they filmed it, and I edited it. And it was so fun. It was so much fun. And the dance teacher, I was like, I think I know the name, but I'm not going to say how I know the name. So come a few weeks later, my mom, who, shout out Kristen, I love my mom, she was at a high school reunion, I believe, and this woman came up to her because they were good high school friends, and she's like, how's Kaley doing? Because, she knew me. She's like, oh, she's good. She's working at Hingham. And then her friend looks at her, and she's like, I have been talking to your daughter via email for weeks. And she's like, yep, that's Kaley. She's like, how did I not know? And she's like, online, and she's like, oh my God. But I'm like, no. So like the roots in Hingham are deep.
They're deep. And the nice thing about this downtown is it's further proof that you don't have to be a huge downtown to have a lot of good stuff in it. And like we were talking about before, great restaurants, but great local businesses too. Clothing stores, whether it's home decor, you name it. It's just one of those really cool downtowns. And, I got so lucky that I won that grant this past year to do that series. And it kind of seemed like at first I was shooting everything downtown. I'm like, oh, I don't want to like blow off the rest of the town. But so much of the rest of the town, as far as like for B-roll footage, for people who don't know what B-roll footage is, that's the stuff that's not interviews. That's just
background footage. That's why it says B.
Yeah. Oh, that's what
it stands for.
All this time.
That's okay. Ryan told me what A-roll was, and I'm like, I don't know what A-roll is.
I just thought it was sequential.
No.
It's like, I was like, if the interview is the A-roll, then the footage is your B-roll. I'm like, all right, that works for me. I can. So B stands for background?
I think B stands for background.
Oh, my goodness.
I could be wrong, but that's what I say it.
Oh, it works for me. But, yeah, if you're shooting, good B-roll footage, it's more difficult to go out into, like, a residential neighborhood with your camera and not look like that weirdo with a camera walking around somebody's neighborhood. Whereas when you're downtown, there's just so much happening. And you can set the camera up, say, on the sidewalk and get feet coming at you.
You love feet. All of your videos have feet. I'm walking.
All right, now before we go down any sort of weird road.
No, I didn't mean it like
that. It's all about the anonymity. And that even sounds crazy, but the truth is, there are so many people that you don't want to get their faces on camera because who knows who they are, and that's a great way to get it. And so you get like legs, and maybe you film people from the back, and but it's not any sort of obsession with feet.
No, I'm I didn't mean it like that. I didn't mean it like that.
I'm totally kidding with you.
I'm just
You're
making funny.
All right, we're going to take a break and hear a word from one of our sponsors.